The first rule drilled into every human envoy was simple: never touch alien royalty unless explicitly ordered. I broke that rule on my first night in the Varelian capital. The palace infirmary was silent except for the faint hum of crystalline power conduits running through the walls. Outside, a storm of violet lightning clawed at the alien sky, illuminating the towering spires of the royal complex. Inside, I stood alone with Princess Kylira of Varel, my hands clenched at my sides, my heart pounding like I'd just run a battlefield extraction. She stood in front of me in full ceremonial armor, lead plates of living alloy shaped to her tall, elegant frame. The armor was cracked, scorched, and faintly glowing along fractured seams. "You are the human healer," she said, her voice steady but strained. "I'm a combat medic," I replied. "Attached to the diplomatic corps." Her golden eyes studied me, sharp and calculating despite the tremor in her breathing. "You treated my guards during the ambush," she said. "You did not hesitate." "They were injured," I said simply. That seemed to satisfy her. She reached up and disengaged a clasp at her collar. The armor hissed softly. Then she paused. "There is damage beneath," she said. "Severe." I swallowed. "Your Highness, protocol says I." "Protocol says I will die if you do not," she interrupted. Silence filled the room. Slowly, deliberately, Princess Kylira began removing her armor. Each plate detached with a faint shimmer, revealing the underlayer, woven biofiber designed to interface directly with her physiology. Darkened stains marked where the armor had sealed over wounds rather than exposing them. Whatever had struck her during the assassination attempt had been designed to bypass shields. She turned her back to me. "Do not look away," she said quietly. "Varelians do not hide pain from those we trust." My breath caught. "I'm not ashamed," I said. "I'm just aware of who you are." She gave a short, humorless laugh. "Tonight, I am only someone who needs help." The final plate slid free. I saw the wound then, a long, crystalline fracture along her shoulder blade, pulsing with unstable energy. Alien blood, luminous and slow-moving, traced delicate patterns down her skin. "This weapon," I murmured, stepping closer despite myself, "it destabilizes tissue regeneration." "Yes," she said. "Our healers cannot touch it without triggering collapse." I exhaled. Human biology doesn't resonate the same way. I might be able to neutralize it. "Then do so," she said. "Do not hesitate." I donned my gloves, activated my field tools, and focused. This wasn't a princess. This wasn't politics. This was a patient. As I worked, she remained perfectly still. No flinch, no cry. Though the readings told me the pain must have been immense. "Why me?" I asked quietly. "Why trust a human?" "Because you are outsiders," she said. "You have no stake in our succession." That made my hands slow. Succession. "My mother grows weaker," Kylira said. "There are those who believe I should not rule." I finished stabilizing the wound and applied a suppressive field. The glow dimmed. Her breathing eased. "You could have let this kill you," I said. "Yes," she replied. "But then they would win." She turned to face me. Up close, without armor or title between us, she looked young. Not fragile, but burdened. "You did not look at me as a prize," she said. "Or a symbol." "I've seen too many people die to care about symbols," I said. Her gaze softened. In the days that followed, I was reassigned, quietly, to the palace medical wing. Officially, it was temporary. Unofficially, I was there because the princess asked for me. We spoke during treatments. About human space. About Varelian stars. About the cost of leadership when your life is measured in expectations instead of years. One night, she asked, "Does your kind fear vulnerability?" "We pretend we don't," I said. "That's how you know we do." She smiled at that. The second assassination attempt came without warning. The palace shields failed. Explosions rocked the inner corridors. Guards fell. Alarms screamed. I was with Kylera when it happened. "Stay behind me," she ordered, reaching for a blade. "You're still healing," I snapped, grabbing her arm. "You'll tear the wound open." She hesitated, just a fraction too long. The blast threw us both into a support alcove. Debris collapsed the corridor. Dust settled. She was pinned. I dragged wreckage away with bare hands, ignoring the pain, the burns, the blood. When I reached her, she was conscious but pale, her armor shattered again. "Human," she whispered, "if I lose consciousness." "You won't," I said, cutting through the remaining armor. "I've got you." She met my eyes. "Do not be ashamed," she said faintly. "Help me." I worked faster than I ever had in my life. Stabilized her airway. Neutralized the energy flare. Held her hand when her strength faltered, not as a subject, not as royalty, but as someone refusing to let another person die alone. When the guards finally broke through, the threat was ended. The court convened at dawn. Princess Kylera stood before them unarmored, not wounded, not weak. Alive. She spoke clearly. "A human saved my life," she said. "Twice." Murmurs spread. "He did not do so for power," she continued, "or favor. He did so because it was right." She turned to me. "In Varelian law," she said, "such a debt is not repaid lightly." I stiffened. "I claim him," she said, "not as property, but as protector, advisor, and equal." The Queen watched me carefully. "Do you accept this bond?" she asked. I thought of the infirmary, of trust freely given, of armor laid aside without fear. "Yes," I said. "I do." Years later, when historians speak of the moment humans truly became part of the galactic balance, they don't mention treaties. They speak of a night in a quiet infirmary, when an alien princess removed her armor, and a human chose to help, without shame, without fear, and without turning away.